Hello everyone, welcome to another rendition of Coog Cinema Reviews. I'm Jay.
I'm Ben.
And today we're talking all about Sonic. In preparation for the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie coming out soon, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff related to Sonic.
First we're going to do a Q&A, and then me and Jay are going to give each other's top 10 Sonic games, favorite Sonic games. So, our first question, what was your first experience with Sonic?
Okay, my first experience with Sonic was when I was roughly around 2 years old. My dad, he had a PlayStation growing up, PlayStation 2 to be exact. And he wanted me to get into gaming as a whole. So my first ever experience with Sonic came through Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which was a compilation game of like classic Sonic games, excluding CD and like other Genesis games. But my first ever Sonic game was probably Sonic 2. My dad loved the crap out of Sonic 2. And he was like, you should try this game. I played it. I got to Chemical Plant Zone, and then I just gave up because I couldn't beat
Same. That was me for like the longest time with that game, especially with Sonic 1. I couldn't get past Marble Zone.
Oh my god, Marble Zone.
I would say my first experience with Sonic is I was like 6 or 7 years old. My childhood friend growing up, his name was Owen. Shout out to him because he got me into Sonic. His mom bought him this game called... So me and him were like very into like Mario. Mm-hmm. And his mom got him this game called Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Classic.
So I like played Sonic and like I was like, man, this is really cool. Unfortunately, my first like actual Sonic game was Sonic and the Secret Rings.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. But my first good experience with Sonic was Sonic Colors, which is not far after.
Yeah.
All right, our next question. So, in late April of 2019, the first trailer for a little movie called Sonic released. Ever since then, the movies have come a long way. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the training these movies in? So, I want to clarify something before we answer that question. So, the reason I asked that and mentioned about the first trailer is because the first trailer of Sonic the Hedgehog, we got the internet got their first look at the original design for Sonic, and they hated it. And what do you guys say about that?
Man, the movie has come such a long way from that first trailer. That first trailer looked god awful. The character design for Sonic looked like roadkill, and I'm not even trying to be funny. It looked like roadkill. It was absolutely awful. And what I really liked, like as a result of like the outcry, was that the movie was actually delayed to actually fix the character design, and I feel like it like paid off in the end. You know, I really like Sonic's design in all the movies and all like forms of like the movie Sonic era. You know, I think it fits him perfectly. I like how everything just clicks. You know, it really looks like Sonic. It's not like a piece of crap. You know.
Yeah, and I will say like the new design. It made me realize that the original design for Sonic, it might not work in like live action. So
yeah, okay.
I think it was a safe choice to like give him like actual like 2 eyes instead of like 1 eye, 2 pupils, and stuff. But
and one giant unibrow.
Yeah. When the new trailer for that movie came out, like it came out like shortly after the movie was originally going to come out. It looked like a completely different movie. I was like,
absolutely.
Like, why does this look different? And why do I actually want to see it? Because like video game movies, they do not get a good rap, and Sonic does not have the best reputation at all.
I mean, considering at this point you had the release of Sonic Forces, which already had like a pretty mediocre like review,
so like
stuff like that. So
if they couldn't get games right, what made them think that they could get a movie right? And you know what? Since this is going to correlate, I'm going to skip a few questions and go to or just one question.
Okay.
And so, what are your opinions on these the 2 Sonic movies that have come out?
Out of the 2 movies, I think my personal favorite is probably the second one. I really loved the first one. I loved how they characterized Sonic as like this goofy little teenager that like kind of goes all over the place, and he's just a kind, pure soul, kind-hearted. And then when Tails is brought into the mix in Sonic 2, they really established that dynamic between the two of them is like big brother, little brother, you know, looking out for one another, best friends and stuff like that. And I also loved how the relationship between Sonic, Tom, and I literally cannot remember the girlfriend's name.
It was Maddie.
Maddie, yes, Maddie. I love the dynamic that they developed in the second movie.
Yeah, I'm honestly impressed with how well the human characters actually act. Because when you look at like CGI / live action like hybrids, the real actors usually suck ass. So like Alvin and the Chipmunks and Detective Pikachu. My God, the actors in Detective Pikachu were awful.
We don't talk about Detective Pikachu.
It was not a bad movie, but Ryan Reynolds really carried that movie.
Yeah, it's like with the actors in the Sonic movies, it really felt like they were acting as if the characters were actually there. It actually felt like there was a genuine connection between the CGI and live action, and like it didn't overstay its welcome. It didn't make it seem like you know, the live action was being carried by the CGI. No, it felt like it was a perfect balance between the two of them. You know?
Yeah, I would say the first movie was definitely good. I don't think it's great. It's got some issues, but I really do like the dynamic between Sonic and Tom. And of course, how is Jim Carrey like on board for 3 movies? Like he never does sequels.
I don't know, but Jim Carrey is probably my favorite part.
Yeah,
like, all the movies.
Jim Carrey.
I love Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey was having such a blast as Robotnik in the first movie, and especially the second movie.
Oh yeah,
they let him do whatever he wants, and I feel like he really likes that. And yeah, so, and the second movie obviously is better in my opinion. Some people think the first movie is better. I disagree. I really like how they implemented the Master Emerald and Chaos Emeralds. Also, some people like said that they were surprised that Supersonic was in the movie. Just like the Chaos Emeralds are literally in the movie. Like, what makes you think that they're not going to put in Supersonic?
Like, come on.
Yeah, and what I expect from the third movie is the music. After the Mario movie came out and it had like actually like good references and making like an original soundtrack as a whole, I expect them to have a lot of references in Sonic 3 compared to like the last 2 movies. Like the only like reference I could like think of is Green Hill Zone in like the opening intro and the drowning music in like when like Sonic was drowning in the second movie.
Okay.
So okay. This one, what's your least favorite Sonic game and why?
Ooh, I'm kind of spoiled for choice, aren't I? My least favorite is probably Secret Rings because it is a mess. The story is a mess. The controls is god awful. You can't even play. It's not even functional. What kind of game makes you level up just to have better control?
It's yeah. I will give Secret Rings this. It had one of the most badass moments for Sonic at the end, like where he was like standing on the throne and he told was it a Razor Jin?
Razor Jin, yes.
To grant his 3 wishes. That was badass. I won't lie.
I will say, as much as it pains me to say, like I really like the cutscenes in Secret Rings. As much as I don't give a crap about the story, I really like how it's designed in like this storybook element. It really adds on to the fact that like this is taking place inside storybook Arabian Nights and stuff like that. So I felt like this and Black Knight sequel, they really got the cutscene design right. And the music, it can be hit or miss, honestly, but I felt like it was pretty fitting for each level.
But at the same time, Secret Rings music, I would say it has its moments, like it has some bangers, like, do you know Kabar My 456?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, oh, man. That was my childhood, and like, what was that? What was the song's name? Because
Who's Gonna Rock the Place?
Who's Gonna Rock the Place? Yeah, that was...
Like, the music's really good. It's just that some of the songs
are super repetitive.
Like, that song we literally was just talking about, Who's Gonna Rock the Place? That's the only... Well, no, the one can't touch this or whatever. It's very repetitive, but, you know, it's still pretty good, still pretty catchy.
Okay, so my least favorite Sonic game is, I'm going to go all out on this one, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Really? Really?
Yes. I did a playthrough on my YouTube channel. I had to private it for reasons. I'm just gonna go down the list. Giving Shadow a gun is fucking stupid. Let's just say there's a level that took me like 40 minutes. You have to play through Westopolis like 10 times to get to the last ending, which makes the last ending just makes the whole like hero or villain thing just completely stupid. Let's see. There's a level that took me 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
The arc levels.
Oh my god! Oh my! Most of them are just too. Oh, it's just a secret.
Those were the ones that took me 40
those
minutes.
were bad. I will say those are pretty bad.
The music is mid, which is a crime for Sonic games. Shadow is fucking racist in there. I'm trying to think. I would say why he was racist, but I feel like some people will use me saying it out of context. Like, it's not a slur or anything, but...
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. Let's just say... the final boss battle is like a rip-off of Metal Overlord from Heroes. Not only that, the controls are exact same as Heroes, except they are so much slipperier.
No!
That's true. Yes, I will say the traction of the neat Shadow shoes is like if you just took like a bunch of butter and oil and just slathered this entire shoe in it.
Yeah.
It's so hard to control.
Yeah, and I will say the endings for like all the stories are really stupid. You got Shadow thinking he's an android.
No way!
Goodbye, Doctor.
Yeah, look, he just killed him.
Just wanting to serve Black Doom or serve his own kind and like kill the human race.
The power
That'd be
of
funny.
these emeralds.
Maybe that's why.
Destroy this
Damn planet. Oh, that was so awesome.
This is
Then you got like him being a hero.
the power of these emeralds. Black Doom and his army are finished. This is who I am.
Or being a dick to Sonic.
I am the most powerful hedgehog in the world. The power of these emeralds.
And what else?
I guess like the mission structure. I actually don't think Sonic. Like, I don't think Shadow the Hedgehog's like that bad. I mean, it's a bad game design wise, but like I don't think it's like that terrible. But I will say the mission structure for majority of the missions are really repetitive because most of them require you to just scourge the level and defeat every enemy of a certain allegiance. So if you're looking for like a hero ending, you have to go against all of Black Doom's creatures and stuff like that. If you're going for a dark ending, you're going after all of the gun soldiers, or you're destroying all robots, things like that, basically.
Yeah,
and it gets repetitive when you have to do it over and over and over just for one ending. That's kind of ridiculous. And in the end, like as you were talking about earlier, it just means nothing because at the end you have a final story, which pretty much mitigates all the other 10 endings. Yes, there's 10 endings. Well, 10 endings that you have to go through.
But there's like 5 main paths.
Yes.
And you have to play through those paths 2 times each to get to different endings. And another thing you just point out, shit. What was I gonna say?
Take your time.
Yeah, so the whole mission structure. So there's one mission in there which I thought was decent for the hero story where you had to collect like 200 or 300 rings. But there were like a lot of rings in there. But for the enemies, you have to kill all the enemies. So you can't just like speed through like the level like a normal game, Sonic game.
For the ring mission, was it the one with Tails on the circus level?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. That one was actually pretty decent. There are a few decent missions in like the levels. There's one where it's simply just beat Sonic, just get to the end.
Yeah.
There's another one where you had to go find Cream, which I thought it was actually decent. But for most of the missions, Hero or Dark, it's just collecting a certain amount of things or destroying a certain amount of things. If you're going for just the neutral path, it's just make it to the end, which
Yeah.
is something that the expert mode actually addressed. Because there's no hero or dark missions. It's just straight up beat the level.
Yeah.
Which is, it actually makes the game much more playable, and much more tolerable. So
Yeah.
Why is that here? What?
Big is that hit? Like you.
What? That's a lasting hitbox.
All right, I'm gonna go to the next question so we don't waste time. Which correlates with this question. What is your favorite aspect of your least favorite Sonic game?
my favorite aspect of my least favorite Sonic game, I really like the just the level design, like just how each level looks. I love how distinct they are, and I love the atmosphere that they create. My favorite level in Secret Rings is probably the last level, when you're actually at the palace and stuff like that, and you can go to like the other dimension with like all fully glass. I think that looks really good. For as bad as like the actual level design is, I think the set pieces are actually pretty good looking. What about you?
I would say.
Yeah, you got to think of something good for Shadow.
I would say the game has my favorite Crush 40 song.
Oh.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Do you think I'm an emo? Do you think I'm emo?
I can't answer that question.
No, it's the credits song for the last story, Never Turn Back.
Oh, that's actually a good one.
Yeah, it was actually a really good one. We
would play it, but like we can't. We'd
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe in post.
Yeah. So next question.
Okay.
What are some of your fan castings for Sonic characters in future movies?
Oh, that's actually really hard because I never really thought of it like that. I never really thought fan casting because I feel like every character that's been casted so far, like, was something that I thought of, and it actually happened. So I like
Keanu Reeves as Shadow.
I thought Keanu Reeves as Shadow. Honest to God, I thought Keanu Reeves as Shadow. I just felt like it would be so funny. Like, I was discussing this with like some of my buddies, like before Sonic 3 was announced. I was like, what if they bring Shadow into the third movie and like they make it Keanu Reeves?
That's it.
And then it happened, and I was like, oh.
Saying that John Wick is going to be Shadow is just crazy.
Oh my God, Shadow, bro, Neo is Shadow, crazy. But I honestly don't have any fan casts.
Yeah,
I can't think of any.
I guess like some of them that I could think of is I would say Rouge is probably definitely going to be in there in future movies. I would say Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yes. Yes, that was the one that was popping up in my head. I'm like, wait, I actually don't know if this is actually gonna work, but yeah, it
like
probably
after her playing Black Widow, yeah, I could see it.
Come on.
I would say.
Oh, my fault. Let me see it.
There's-
Technical difficulties.
So there's also Amy like coming around. I would say some like quirky like actress like Anna Kendrick or someone like that. But
I would just make the bold decision to just bring the actual voice actor for Amy like right now. Just have her voice her.
I would like them to.
But then
like,
again,
I would like them to bring. If they're gonna do that, I would like them to bring Amy's voice actor from Sonic X. Yeah, I would say that. So our next question: other than Sonic, who's your favorite character in the franchise?
Ooh, that's actually really. I love this question. Wait, because I have two options actually. Besides Sonic, it's either Shadow right here. Oh my God. Or probably Blaze, because they're one of the only few characters that actually have like their own unique super form, and I think their backstories are actually really interesting. With Shadow being this, not an android, but this creation created 50 years ago, meant to pretty much protect Earth, and then Blaze. Okay, her backstory keeps changing from game to game, but she's from the future.
Yeah,
And she wants to ensure that her future is actually okay by going back into the past, which is the present. And I just think her, the character, is just she's so underutilized. And I hate that, but I love her. I love her in Rush, bro.
Yeah, after 06, I just decided to put her on like a side character, female character like Rouge and Korean and all that.
Disgusts me.
Yeah, I would say my favorite character is also between two options, either Shadow or Knuckles.
Okay, yeah.
Knuckles is lately they've been butchering him in the games, but they did him a whole lot of justice in the second movie. His show sucked though.
Oh yeah, that show. You mean the Wade Whipple show?
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, we apologize if there's background noise in there. It's fine.
Different set today. Woo!
Yeah. But Shadow, like, that is like, you know, like a character that has like you feel empathy towards, and like he obviously like has the best like story
Absolutely.
out of any character in the Sonic universe. He has he's a revenge story. I feel like has one of the best revenge stories in my opinion.
I think it's because there are so many games which actually discuss his backstory and willing to flesh it out. Like, so he's introduced in Sonic Adventure 2, right?
Yeah.
And then it's sort of touched upon in Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog, but like in later games, they really try to like establish that Shadow is here.
Except for the new one, yeah.
Except for the new one.
Yeah.
Check it out, guys. This is Ben's copy.
So, yeah, I feel like the Shadow game, like, not that one, the terrible one.
The 2005 one.
Made his story a bit messy. So I just like to pretend that that just does not exist. So, yeah, I would say that like I feel like he has the best revenge story, or like one of the best revenge stories, because like he doesn't remember like what Maria actually said, so he thought that Maria wanted Shadow to avenge her and just kill the human race.
Yeah.
And blow up planet Earth. So this next one, what Sonic game would you like to see remastered or remade in the future?
Definitely Sonic Unleashed.
That's my answer
no
too.
question.
That's my answer too.
No question about that, dude. Like Sonic Unleashed, I love the story, but God, there can be so many adjustments to the gameplay, just both daytime and nighttime. Nighttime especially, because that battle theme playing constantly. When just you walk up to an enemy, you think of an enemy, you hear that theme. I feel like with a remaster, they could tweak that. They could also tweak some of the level design, because there are some BS moments where sometimes you can just glitch out of like the entire stage. But yeah, I would love to see Sonic Unleashed remastered.
Yeah, there's also like normally like when I turn on Sonic Unleashed, I would just go back to the daytime levels.
Honestly, yeah.
But there's also like a few daytime levels where like the frame rate drops like a lot. So
yeah, Jungle Joyride and Out of Bat, that is one example of just the frame rate just dropping, it's chugging.
Yeah. The Sonic Unleashed is one of the best looking Sonic games, and it's crazy because that is how that game looks. Should not be on Xbox 360 or PS3 hardware.
Absolutely not. And the fact it was 2008.
Yeah,
2008.
Those CGI cutscenes, by the way, they look better than like today's Pixar movies. It's true though. Like you can't lie. So our next question: What Sonic game has your favorite soundtrack in the franchise?
Surprisingly, Sonic Rush. That has my favorite soundtrack. I love the soundtrack of Sonic Rush.
I can understand that.
It is a banger. It was composed by the composer who did Jet Set Radio, which is an older Sega game.
I need to play that
love Jet Set Radio. I think the music is absolutely... It fits Sonic so well. It's just bumpy. It has a lot of jazz. It's so good. It's so good. I love listening to it.
I think they use samples from like iconic speeches. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. They use a sample from Malcolm X.
Yes, there was a sample from Malcolm X in one of the songs. I believe it was in the final boss, actually.
Wrapped in Black?
Yeah, Wrapped in Black, yes. I can't remember exactly what part of the speech it was, but they did take a sample from that, and that song is a banger. I love that song.
Yeah. I would say my favorite soundtrack is either Unleashed or Adventure 1.
Okay, yeah.
Adventure 1 has a lot of variety in its soundtrack. Unlike Adventure 2, which is just a bunch of rock music. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I loved Adventure 2's soundtrack, but I feel like Adventure 1's soundtrack was better because it has more variety. And Unleashed just has, like, that Mario Galaxy-esque, like, orchestra. And it's, like, sounds so good. It makes, like, all the cutscenes feel so dramatic. And, like, The best parts dramatic. Okay. Next, this is our final question. What Sonic game do you think is underrated and why? Make the why quick.
Underrated. I think Sonic and the Black Knight is underrated because I feel like people harp on it too much because it's a sequel to Secret Rings, but I think the story is actually pretty engaging. The gameplay, it could use a little bit of adjustment, but I think it's a pretty fun experience and it's much better than Secret Rings.
Honestly, I'm trying to think of a underrated game, and like, I would say like underrated game is like Sonic Heroes. That game gets a little too much flack. Like, I know like the game is like a little cheesy, and truth be told, I haven't finished the game.
What?
Yeah, I know. I mean, the levels are a little too long, and especially like each act is like 10 minutes long, but I would say the level design is pretty fun, and like I loved like the three character gimmick.
Okay.
And I think the boss fights are pretty good, except for some of the team bosses is just stupid.
Well, maybe if you finish the game, it'll be better.
Yeah, maybe I'll finish the game. But yeah, I would say besides that, yeah, underrated game. So now that it concludes our segment for the Q&A, it's time for our top 10.
Okay.
So
we're gonna speed through it.